Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hey, look at that. We're here. It's Friday. Yet again, it's another one. And we got some questions. We have many questions, in fact.
Where did these standard questions come from this time, sir?
These are all from Twitter. So,
hey.
Yeah. We get caught up maybe on some Twitter questions eventually, someday. But not today.
You can add to the pile by tweeting to us at BumbleKast.
Indeed, indeed. Go ahead and kick things off with a tweet from Sonic Blue Ranger. With a recent, at the time of this writing, question about Sonic and Starline going out on a date, it got me wondering, what is Sonic's idea of a date? Is he surprisingly romantic and knows how to show a partner a good time, or is it an awkward disaster?
That is a good question. The handful of times that I have written him in that situation, I have skewed to try to make him a good date partner, but I feel like you could almost make an argument that that's almost out of character. I don't know. It's kind of hard to read because we don't have a good baseline for official Sonic romance. I mean, I imagine that if he put his mind to it, he could be thoughtful, but that's the thing, is he doesn't necessarily put his mind to things too seriously. He's kind of spur of the moment, live in the moment, keep moving. So like a dedicated date night just seems kind of odd for him. Although I guess in what very, very few instances we have confirmed between him and Amy, it sounds like she kind of took the lead and maybe he just rolled with it. And that seems to make enough sense. Like he just is kind of casual with the whole affair. He's not someone who would initiate. He's not someone who would necessarily plan. He would just kind of be cool with whatever it may be.
I mean, that's kind of how he seems to roll. That's fine. But he's not going on a date with Starline anytime soon anyway, because Starline's a little preoccupied with being flat.
Yeah, that relationship fell flat.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
It was rocky to begin with, but now it's just reached a dead end.
If only the duck would have ducked.
The stars just didn't align in his favor.
No. Crushing defeat of their relationship. Sharpie Maker has a question. In the Tails Tube video, Tails says that the Mobians live on islands too small to be seen from orbit. Are all the islands where Mobians live this small, or are there some larger islands that they live on? I'm thinking Ireland, Cuba, or even Japan-sized.
The statement was just kind of a broad one, just so that there wasn't the question of, well, why don't we see all the Mobian islands? Never mind that there isn't a consistent world map. It's, they live on a bajillion little islands that could be just about anywhere in that big blue ocean. I imagine there are larger islands out there. I mean, West Side Island looks like it should be pretty big, all things considered. But I wouldn't worry too much about it because I don't think we're going to get a serious, solid world map anytime soon.
Here's a question from Reese. Was the original idea of making Cream Bunny's cousin in Sonic Genesis Awakening's Free Comic Book Day 2012 going to be expanded on in a future issue, or was it just made for a one-off thing?
I don't think we had any far-reaching plans for it. It was just something fun to do.
Alrighty. Here's a question from the Duck Dealer. Since Two Worlds is now done with, how do you explain Advance 3 not unleashing Dark Gaia? Am I missing something?
Well, how about this?
Cons.
The world itself was divided into pocket zones, but maybe the world itself wasn't necessarily split. Like, reality was cordoned off into sections, but the planet itself was still physically intact. Or if the nature of the Chaos Control experiment divided the planet so thoroughly that Dark Gaia was divided evenly between the pocket dimensions, and so could not form and be out there. These were not thought of in that way.
The answer is, shut up.
Everything is canon. That is the answer.
The answer is, stop. Don't think about it. Here's a question from Nitro Reviews. Where's Big the Cat been since Metal Virus? This question has kept thousands of your readers up through countless nights. It's time you finally address this very serious topic.
Look, the big faithful already understand that once he was cured, he just went back to fishing.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. That's all he does.
That just took 2 steps off the edge of Angel Island, fell into the surf, let the current take him back to some shore somewhere, and fished. Heck, if he's got the inflatable belt on, he fished along the way.
That's all he needs to do. That's all you want him to do, because if Big ever does anything else, we're kind of screwed. Daily Jewel the Beetle has a question. I have a question relating to Jewel. Do you know what happened to Jewel's Mineral Museum after she became the restoration organizer? Who runs it now? Is it being guarded?
Check out Sonic Annual 2022, which just came out. There is actually a story involving said Mineral Museum. We don't see who's curating it, but it's pretty clear that security is kind of light there right now.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I just picked up that issue yesterday. Maybe I'll give it a read.
It's super fun.
It was the last Sonic-related thing in the entire freaking store, man. It's like, what the heck?
Nice.
There's nothing here. There's no Sonic anything here. I got the last copy. It's like, oh, man. Either it's all gone or something. Wow. Here's a question from Francisca A. Hey, Ian, what do you think of Eggette Robotnik, Eggman's non-canon daughter/sometimes niece? Also, if you've ever decided to incorporate her into the comics, if SEGA allows it, how would you write her? Like a brat or a socially awkward yet tyrannical girl?
Personally, I prefer the fandom name of Omelette, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And before anyone starts going, you said you don't look at fan creations, Eggette/Omelette was everywhere.
It was extremely.
For months. There was no escaping.
Yeah. No. Impossible.
And freaking delightful. I love what everyone did with her. The celebration of this fun idea that everyone just embraced was just, it's one of the reasons why I love this fandom, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like one little goof interpretation of a sprite and it just runs wild. It's great. It's also not remotely usable. I don't know if SEGA could even claim it because, yeah, it's based off of their sprite, but it's entirely, created by the fandom. So I sincerely doubt she'll ever see the light of day, which is too bad because she would be hilarious.
It would have to come with a license thing. It would have to be licensed from the original artist who designed her. So,
or they would claim that it's all derivative of their work and just take it wholesale, which would go over very, very poorly with the fandom and kind of poison the well. So,
yeah. And
I don't think they would do that because that doesn't seem like a very SEGA thing to do. They seem to be very mindful of that. So, she's not going to appear anytime soon in any kind of official media. And that's why the fandom exists. You can give her life.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine she'd be, a chip off the old egg, a little more overtly bratty and energetic than classic Eggman, but pretty much cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, and here's a question from Aggressively Mediocre. Hey, I didn't ask any questions this week. What the heck? Why did Starline need both personalities written out of Belle's emotion data and hundreds of hypnosis sessions to make Surgeon Kit? Was the hypnosis conducted using that personality data, or were those both separate and distinct steps of their creation?
Different steps. Think of Belle's personality coding as the software language and the hypnosis sessions the actual coding. Or I guess closer to how AI is being developed. Think of Belle's coding as the base AI algorithm and the hypnosis sessions, the varying learning tests that the AI has to go through to learn how to be itself.
Alrighty. And we got a question from Levin. Has SEGA ever provided any sort of clarification on what rings actually are? I am sure other media like Archie Comics or the movies may have gone into it, but what about the games universe? I've noticed that they're not even really part of the IDW comics.
Yeah, no explanation there, and presently, I believe they're to be treated more like a game element, not a narrative element. Distinction being, regions on West Side Island, since we brought it up. The zones. Those are actual physical locations. That's part of the lore. But the shields and stuff are power-ups and are a gameplay element, so they prefer we not use those.
I'm split on that. On the one hand, I get it, but on the other hand, it seems like a core part of Sonic just being kind of ignored in a way. Yeah, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Oh well.
But I mean, they aren't really a factor in any of the game stories.
No.
For the most part.
No.
I'm sure there's somebody who's going to cite one game where it is part of the story just to make me look like an idiot. But, classic and modern, nobody really talks about the rings. Emeralds, sure, but not so much the rings. They're more of a gameplay component. So I get that one.
Yeah, but then you have the whole casino aspect of everything. Like, if there's no rings, why are there these casino areas?
Yeah, but
it's like the whole money thing.
Like
if there's no money, then why is gambling so prevalent?
There's stuff in like Casinopolis at SA1, you gather up rings, but when those claws shake you, it's tokens that come out.
Right.
Is it like magically converting them as they shake Sonic, or is it just a gameplay element,
Right.
You can debate either way, I'm sure, but that's the pretense that I'm working under right now.
Yeah. I'm being told that it's because Eggman likes the spectacle, but it doesn't seem like all these casino zones and stuff are necessarily being built by Eggman.
Not all of them.
Like Casino Night, that's just a city. And
Casinopolis is part of Station Square.
Yeah, Casinopolis is just part of the city. It's not built specifically by Eggman, so I don't know. It's an odd thing. It's a weird, divergent thing between gameplay versus story, I guess. So, I don't know. I don't know what I feel about it. And our last question before we take a quick break is coming to us courtesy of Polyman. A logo looking like an alligator while the name implies it has something to do with bees. Who made that blunder?
Tell me you haven't read the FAQ at BumbleKing.com without saying you haven't read the FAQ at BumbleKing.com.
What is the Bumble King?
The Bumble King is clearly the reptilian monarch of all bee kind.
It seems a little odd that a reptile would be the king of a bunch of insects, but hey, you know what? I don't care. Everything is canon.
It's odd and it's dumb, and you're going to remember that, aren't you?
Yes.
If it were just a little bee with a crown, it'd be like, it's a bee with a crown. But if you're sitting there going, why is the alligator got bee antenna? Why is it? Why is there a croco bee? What is this? That sticks with you. That's branding.
Marketing. Merchandising.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of making money, let's take a little quick break and then come back with more BumbleKast.
Enjoy your Bumble commercial.
Unless you're listening to the podcast version, in which case enjoy your little musical interlude. And we're back. Here's a question from Grebber. Is Whisper able to cuss in Wisp language? And or can she speak Wisp language without the mask?
Well, that assumes Wisps cuss. Look at those little happy, light jelly babies. They're too pure to know epithets.
Are you sure?
Maybe. No, I mean, some of the looks that pink spike gives you is like...
I was going to say...
You know exactly what it's thinking.
Some of them look pretty angry. I mean, even Drill and Laser, they look mad.
And I'm imagining every four-letter word shouted out by the Colors announcer.
Oh, no. That's amazing. I like that.
No, Whisper cannot speak Wisp on her own. That's entirely the purpose of the masks.
Darn. Well, I'm just trying to imagine, Tails first turns on his translator thingy in Sonic Colors, and his face just falls, and he's like, oh my goodness.
This isn't Yacker. This is Cusser.
This is Effer. It's his name. Does Whisper curse in normal language? I think we know the answer to that. The answer is yes.
Yeah, but it's whisper, so it's all under her breath anyway.
Yeah, you never hear it.
You just hear this kind of, what was that? Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And we got a question from Ultrasonic 8000 here. Is the term chaos energy for the Chaos Emerald's energies a term that exists in the Sega Sonic game canon? Or is it just a spin-off media term that has unofficially snuck its way into the common fans' conception of what is an official video game term?
I would want to do some research on that, but I'm pretty sure it's a spin-off media term. Like, I'm fairly certain whenever referring to the Chaos Emerald's energy itself in game, it's always referred to as the Chaos Emerald's energy.
Well, you could be wrong about that.
I might be.
It used to be called the Chaos Force, wasn't it?
No, that was comics. That was very much comics.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. That's a media term thing.
Yeah, but Chaos Energy specifically as a term, I think is also a comics thing.
Okay. Chaos Force, it's like the Speed Force, except not. Amira the Warrior's question is here. I have a question about Amy's headband. Does it keep her hair quills down? When she takes it off, do they stick out like how Sonic's are?
That would be super cute, but I don't think so.
I think her quills being more like Sonic's is just a classic thing, not a modern design thing. But, I don't know. She never takes it off, so, maybe it's another power restrictor,
I mean, she's got a head wrap and or headband, depending on the art in her classic style.
I guess that's
and
true,
it's got the
yeah.
Sonic-y spines, so I think it's just a styling choice.
Yeah, I guess so. Good point. Here's a question from Twilord. If they use Black Doom for a film or 4, and he gets so popular, Sega want him revived, how could you see that being done?
That's easy. That's just part of the hive mind.
Yeah.
I mean, they're interplanetary marauders. He dropped a seed pod on some other world and, oopsies, the black comet blew up. Well, here comes Junior hatching out, and he just starts spreading Zerg-like on whatever world he's on. Yeah, Black Doom and the Black Arms would be super easy to bring back.
Yeah, not a particularly hard thing. Fit right in there. Here's one from Quartz the Echidna. Back in Archie, it was obvious what the political situation was. Constitutional monarchies over here, techno-fascists over there, etc. But in IDW, I'm struggling to wrap my head around what the political situation is. A confederacy of city-states? A liberal democracy? Something else?
Yeah, it's not really defined in the games, is it? I mean, we know there's the United Federation, which is a U.S. analog, but we don't know what countries are under that federation. And looking at Unleashed, the question is, the locations you go, are those cities within unnamed nations? Or are you going to the nations themselves? Like, is Adabat a nation, or is it a town within another country? And what throws the wrinkle in that is Empire City. Like, is that a city-state with another U.S. analog flag, or is Empire City part of a U.S. analog country, and is that part of the United Federation? I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. Never mind the occasional name drop of real world countries, which is not canon. And
and would that be the same for the comics these days as the games?
Yeah. So whatever's, I would assume that on Sonic's Earth there are a variety of countries and governmental forms, both for humans and animals, and places like Windmill Village or where Cream lives or all of that, where they're just small communities. There isn't really a hierarchy. It's, you've got the elder who kind of oversees things and tells folks what to do, but it's not really a strict government regimented thing. It's just a small society, a commune. I don't know what you would classify that as.
So you're telling me we won't be seeing Sonic go to United Kingdom Zone Act 1 anytime soon? What a shame. What a shame. 120 Masks has a question. Wait, Spinball and 3D Blast are canon?
Yeah.
Always have been.
No, but that was then. This is now.
But it's funnier if you say always has been, and then point a gun at him. Space. Here's a question from Nitroactive. Has Ian Flynn been keeping notes on his unused plans for Lost Hedgehog Tales? It's been a long time since we got a new update, and it would be really bad if he forgot about what he had planned before the cancellation of Archie Sonic.
Yeah, I've got my old files somewhere. If they're not on this immediate hard drive, I have backup drives. And when I can sit down and actually finally do this project, I'll have a lot of reading and researching to do because it's been a long time since I've worked on this stuff.
Yeah.
What I might also do is kind of just put out a call for questions, prompts from the fandom to say, you know, what was it you were looking forward to? What questions do you have unanswered? Because looking at my notes, sure, there's a lot of stuff that I had planned and was going to pitch and so, but that won't necessarily cover everything without like rereading everything like during my run and before to see everything and where it would all connect. So I'll probably put out a call for, you know, what was it you were looking for? And my notes will cover most of it, I'm sure. And then there will be some prompts going, oh yeah, we're going to do the thing with the guy doing the whatever. All right. And, you know, fill in as many blanks as I can. Let me specify again that whenever this can finally come out, it will not be stuff that was going to happen for surezies. This is just going to be what I wanted to happen, and a large chunk of it will not have been presented to an editor or to SEGA. So there's no telling if any of this would have been official, but still, some folks want that, you know, tangential word of God aspect to it, and I appreciate that, so I will do it. And unfortunately, that tangential word of God nature causes issues, and thus it's still on hiatus. But I don't know. It's going to get done one way or the other someday.
All right. If I may make a suggestion, Ian.
Sure.
I would suggest finding those drives sooner than later and making sure you've got cloud backups of them as well. You have online backups of them just to be on the extra safe side. Don't ever have just one backup.
Oh, no. These things have got at least 2, if not 3 physical backups.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'm just making sure because, you know, it would
Yeah.
really be bad if it disappeared and oi. So, just to be extra safe. Here's a question from Juice to It Boy. Sally got turned into a robot. She was my idol. She and Sonic were going to be king and queen of Mobius. And what happened on the Death Egg? She sacrificed herself. This is a kid's comic. It's wrong to kill off a lovable female. I want her to come back in other media, please.
She wasn't killed off. She was just horribly corrupted into the single most dangerous enemy that her friends had ever faced before, and a betrayal of all of her ideals. That's way worse than death. Come on, give me some credit. It was also like the halfway point of that story arc, and we never got to finish it, speaking of Lost Hedgehog Tales.
Yeah. But the universe rebooted and she came back.
Well, yeah.
But also, that was Genesis. Genesis happened right in the middle of it, which you weren't anticipating.
No.
And, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, that was not anticipated. But, I mean, Sonic rewound time and brought her back, right? Am I forgetting that? Am I forgetting something?
Yeah, more or less.
Time rewound, you brought her back, and then she got roboticized.
Yeah.
And then the reboot happened. And then she was fine. See? Fixed. Problem solved. Also, never kill off a lovable female character, Ian. Never, ever. Don't ever kill off anybody, ever.
I'm still pushing where I can for the Freedom Fighters. I don't know if I can win that fight, but we'll see. If she were to come back, just keep in mind it's not going to be anything remotely like the Archie version.
Yeah.
That version of the character, both versions of that character are done. They're not coming back for sure. So if you're going to see Sally or any of the Freedom Fighters back, they're going to be new incarnations, I'm sure. So, and that's if. That's still a big if.
Yeah. And please don't go yelling at Archie fans that means that their comic is done. They should just get over it. Don't do that. Please don't do that. See way too much of that. System 509 has a question. With the recent display of gameplay for Sonic Frontiers combat system, it would seem Sonic has his own long-range projectile attack brought on by high-speed kicking. I was wondering, is this a form of energy manipulation or some form of wind-controlling aerokinesis?
You're just going to have to play and find out, because I'm under NDA.
Wee. He's kicking. He's kicking. He's having a tantrum. That somehow is powerful. It's a Sonic tantrum. And finally, our last question this week comes to us courtesy of Chonk. Ian keeps talking with this person that doesn't exist. Who is Kyle? What is Kyle? Are we all Kyle?
Kyle absolutely exists. He's not just a voice I do. I'm not talking to myself all these episodes. I'm certainly not editing it so that the two voices overlap each other to create the illusion of there being a Kyle. Kyle is not some manifestation of an illness in my brain. No, Kyle is real. 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 Don't argue with me. Kyle is real. Kyle is real. Kyle, say something.
Something. I'm here. I had you going for a second. I am here. I am real. I am more human than human. So says the White Zombie song. That song was about me. You didn't know? Never mind. I wasn't
now I do.
born at the time that song. Well, maybe I was born. Let me see. When was that? Early? Was More Human Than Human from the 90s or the 80s? 1995. Okay, yeah, I was alive. I was born. I was almost 10. No, that song was not actually about me. Sorry to say. But
Dragula was, though.
I mean, you gotta love through the ditches and laugh through the witches and love in the back of my Dragula. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get out of here.
Yep. It's going to wrap us up for this episode of the BumbleKast, but the week of BumbleKast goodness is not done yet. We will see you Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the YouTube channel for the live Q&A session. Please remember to keep your questions one at a time, and Super Chats get priority. You should know the drill by now. But before we get to that, we need to give a big thank you to all the folks over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members for making this show possible. Big thank you to Daniel H., Alex P., James K., John B., Jennifer R., Robotnik Holmes, Samuel P., Sam Cybercat, Torchbound, Mike B., Dave M., Coupling Crew 128, Duiz Disden, Jay Frost, Luchacat, Andrew D., Hero of Light 13, Scruffy Matt, Ryan D., Chris A., Sony, John M., Noni, Jib, Don B., Yami M., Lee H.K., Lisa M., Fiona M., Chevelle, Invade Turbo Tunis, Ben W., Blue Title Gamer, Keeper of Monsters, Tick Tick, Axis, Xanderoni the Painter, Final, Neil Scurvy, Pirate Honk, Jonathan Inkpants is missing his actual pants. The name is X. Justin S., Solera Stain, Nimric, Godzilla, Dadler the Dalek, Chaos Universe, Sonic Legacy, Daniel B., Ava Arctic, Pedanti Cat, Dove, Red the Super Namek, Arc Fighter, Quaggle Gaggle, Chad, Nondle, Professor Rye, Jack the Animator, Cameron H., Les, Jennifer H., Sapphire Scarletta, Alphamon or Yukin, Joshua S., Omega Watt, Preston M., Sonic 84, Noah S., Finest Cacophony, Alex G.S., Kojiro Highwind, Super Sonic Fan, Awesome Cakester, Radry, Jolene B., Chase L., Dapper Shinks, Just a Mountain Soul, Callum Q., Red Wolf, Ty H., Starsec, and Tails, Maddie H., KJB, John the Real Waluigi, Derusiful, In Zephyr, Cosmic Cooking Hunter 77, Mox the Marble Gardener, Owen BD, Lemur Chicken, Wild 48, T Ranger, Twillard, King Toasty, Miles the Prower, Navari, Exadel, Agent Kaz, For Sonic Fan, Lewis J, Michael P, Rhythm Raccoon, Fenris Asger, Pap, Delta God 77, Miggy Sawdust, Pig Dan 20, Ty Cyan, Jamal S, Curly Quills, Ozjam, Shimmy M, Josiah H, Angela V, Lacey M, Unlikely Veronica, Caleb, Phi, Nova Poly Duo, Timon B, Thievius, Smiley 21, The Flower Garden, Sammy S, A Seer Warns of a Deadly Fate, Bowser Studio, Tetsunai, Fang the Werehog, Crowbo, Sonic Mania 2099, Thigolf, Shumps, Hadronus, Nils, Chaos Sonic 1, Sky the Desu, Supernova, Indabend, The Disgaeans, Superior Pizza, Charlie B, Chaos Shadow, Sonic Padge, Speedweed, Butter Noodles, Frost the White Line, Danny the Light, Ryoko Shin, Phelps G, Metamode, and Wheels 282 Hedgehog.
Amazing. Incredible. Thank you all for your support and that's just contributing to that massive list of names that Ian is forced to read every episode.
Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
See you later.
I freaking adore that live, laugh, love sign. Holy shit.
There are so many of them now. It's the only live, laugh, love sign that's actually any good, that I actually like. Yeah, if you look up live, laugh, love Rob Zombie, you'll find a whole bunch of them. Pretty great. Pretty great.
That is fantastic. I have been working all day. Why are you now milling around me like piranha?
Because you're talking.
No. Back. Thank you.
Dove's name is spelled Dove, but it's pronounced Hydrosity. I don't think so. That's stretching the limits of words, I think.
They dove right into that one.
Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Are the cats sufficiently away for now? Or whatever they need to be?
What are you stalking?
The air.
Oh, Lord. One of them is skulking under the bedsheet, and the other one is stalking them as they skulk.
Yes. Nice. Goofy.
You guys done?
No. They're never done.
Out. Here we go.
Skulk and stock. Bulk and skull.
Alrighty. Ready to go. One might argue that's possibly out of character. I don't know. Is any of that coming through the mic?
A little bit.
Okay. We'll give it a minute. The last thing we need is, BumbleKast. Ian tortures small children in the background.
Sounds like they need to put that kid back in his cage. That's what you do with children, right?
Either they've moved on or they're feasting on Muldoon, so...
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Damn! Shit! Fuck off! You get every single color, and it's just Ressa Fressen Bessabrachen!
Oh no. Oh no. Oh well.
Either that goes in the after credits or you bleep it.
I'll figure it out.